Welcome back to FPL Banter podcast. Myself, Mopey, I have Woody.
Hello.
And Alex.
Hey, how's it going?
Alex is in a construction site at the moment.
Sorry. I've been trying to move around and find somewhere where it's quiet, and this is the quietest I can get it.
He's been moving around the entire south of France trying to find a quiet spot.
Yeah. The new place you went, is it a different person drilling or is it the same drill, just from a different angle?
It's the same drill. I feel like they're moving towards me because it's down. It's in the sous-sol, in the basement of the building I'm in. So nightmare, mate. Loud. Nightmare. As much as a nightmare as our game week. That's nice.
I reckon it's more of a nightmare than our game week, but it's close.
I mean, we came in with 40 points and the average was 39. So big green arrow, if you ask me. I mean, we're climbing the ladder with that, but still, we're not climbing it very fast.
Well, I reckon most people would have taken a points hit that week as well. I know I did.
Well, yeah, I think the big disappointment was Kane captain, which literally everyone did, and everyone was disappointed by.
When I saw 4-0, and then I was like, quick, check my points, and then like it wasn't a huge number. I was like, oh, Kane must have been rested. So what happened to my vice captain? And I looked, I was like, oh no, he did play, just didn't do anything at all.
Yeah. If there's something to be said about captaining Iheanacho for the past however many weeks. I mean, literally, it would have been the best decision, but for some reason, no one does it. Everyone's just too afraid to do it, but he keeps coming in with the goods.
So you're going to do it this week then?
Well, no, but even when Kane banged in 2 goals recently in the 2 games, he came in with 13 and 12, which is pretty similar to Iheanacho. So, yeah. Anyway, will I do it this week? Probably not. Not with a triple game week on the horizon.
Oh, God, yeah.
This has to be a first, right?
I think so. I mean, I'm not aware of, not in my lifetime anyway. I don't know about in previous years, like going way back to the dawn of the internet. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
don't know. So, I think so. I think it's first.
It was, I guess, disappointing for some.
Especially, I think. I mean, our team luckily only had Fernandes from the United Liverpool lineup, but my personal team, I had quite a few players, and my draft team had quite a few players, which turned up 0. So it kind of screwed me for my draft. I lost because of the fact that these players didn't play. Like I have Salah, TAA, and Luke Shaw. So I've got 3 players there that should be playing, and I didn't even get anything. So I completely lost the draft.
It was, I mean, obviously there's bigger picture issues going on. I'm sure the Man United fans weren't like, let's ruin everyone's FPL weekend. But, it did. I know it wasn't one of their concerns, but it did ruin the weekend for a lot of people.
Well, I'm just going to offer a different perspective on this. As a non-Salah owner, I was a bit concerned about the game week, and then by not playing, brought on my defender Dunk, brought in 8 points. So it suited some people,
Yeah,
it's true. You actually had probably a better week because of it. Yeah. Jamie works again.
Yeah,
I think one thing we kind of have to pick a ruddy fight with Woody about is Alonso.
Oh God! Oh my God!
Yeah,
right, you should have seen.
Had he played, it would have been a points haul.
But that was a Woody guarantee, Woody.
It was. Yeah. I mean, every now and then, I have to pay out on my guarantees. Like any insurance company. Every now and then, you got to pay out, and fine, I'll give you that one. I got it wrong.
It was so infuriating because I was watching, because we gave you a lot of crap last when we were recording the last podcast, and then whilst I was watching the game, I'm just like, okay, no Alonso, that's fine. We got a deep bench, relatively so. And then he comes on, I think it's the 88th minute, or like, I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, in
seen
Woody's defense,
in the podcast as well.
I was going to say, in your defense, we didn't have anyone coming on. We did. We had Reguilon coming on. We ruined everything.
Yeah.
And Castagna 2 points, but I guess that's the Logan.
That's the Logan effect. Yeah. I really want to know what team he's got this week, so I can just avoid.
Well, I am playing my wild card this week as one of the few people who still has a wild card.
I've got my wild card.
Yeah, exactly. Alex and I decided to play it. It's a good time. So with 4 game weeks left.
I've got my free hit, and I've still got my wild card. So
do you? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a good flex. I'll give you that.
Nice.
Can't argue that one.
Been sitting on there. Oh no, I had to play it, didn't I? No, sorry, I was saving it, but I had all those injuries. No, you're right. I don't know my wild card anymore.
Oh god, this guy. You cannot trust a thing he says. First Alonso.
I just realized. Like I didn't. No. Oh yeah, because I forgot because I hadn't made a tactical wild card. Like I've kept my team, but then I had that week with I think it was 6 injuries, so I had to play it.
Had to.
Also, one thing that we keep on mentioning that we have to probably bring up again is since Dallas's tweet about not benching him,
he's been rubbish.
He's been really not delivering the goods.
He's no Ryan Fraser, I tell you that.
But they've got great fixtures.
Not discount Leeds. Yeah. Spurs
Strong
at home,
finish.
and then the last 3. I mean, you'd expect them to, not that they have that much to play for, but you'd expect them to want to come out strong, right? And so Burnley, Southampton, West Brom, they're all right fixtures, so why not?
Yeah.
Should we trust the man?
I don't know how it works with the old UEFA Conference League now, the new tournament for next year, because if Spurs and City both qualify through Europe by their own means, who gets the EFL Cup spot from the UK? So maybe there would be another spot in the league opens up. So maybe actually finishing 8th.
But this is the first I'm hearing about this UEFA Conference League thing since this morning, since you mentioned it before we started recording, and I'm still completely lost as to the point of it.
I didn't hear anything. I wasn't even aware of it until someone mentioned about Roma last night not competing in Europa next year. The best they can hope for is the UEFA Conference League. So it's like,
but that's starting next season, or is it starting this season?
Starting next season. So like next year, so they qualify this year. Is my understanding. 22, the 21-22 UEFA Conference League.
Oh God, I'm really confused. I'm already confused, mate.
Right. Well, without further ado, I think this week we can actually move on to the team a little bit early because there's so much to talk about.
It's a big one.
So much.
Yeah. Should we do it? Should we just ready do it?
Let's ready do it.
Okay. So we pick a team every week and it fits in a budget, so you can get it on a wild card. So this week we have a very, very juicy fixture list. But I also want to just mention that in your mini leagues, I guess the issue being that next week there'll be a lot of blanks. So this team might not necessarily reflect what one wants. Maybe on a free hit like Woody, but just to be aware that a lot of the big teams, including United, Leicester, Arsenal, are blanking. So there's a blank next week, so just be aware of that. Anyway, so who wants to start with defenders?
I always do D. Let someone else.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do the big D.
Do it.
All right. So to kick us off, we've got Mendy.
Should we get the ball rolling, Alex?
Okay, let's not start with the puns. All right, so we've got Mendy, apparently, which according to Woody, that's how he likes his name pronounced.
No, that's just how that commentator, the one that used to do Robot Wars, that he just insists on it. I know. Everyone else is Mendy except him. He is Edouard Mendy.
The one who used to do Robot Wars.
Yeah.
What's that reference?
What's his name?
No, I know who he's talking about.
Thingy Pierce.
No, Eric doesn't know Robot Wars. Grew up in France, mate.
Guerre de Robota.
It sounds a bit Mexican. Guerra de Robota.
Guerra de Robota.
Oh, now it sounds Italian.
Yeah.
All right. Should we just get on with it? Yeah.
Let's crack on. So Mendy in goals. Chelsea are playing City and Arsenal. I mean, they played really well against Real Madrid. I mean, they were pretty tight at the back. Real Madrid couldn't really break them down. I think Real Madrid as well. Did I say Real Madrid enough? I think Real Madrid really didn't play well at all. Like, I was really surprised.
Do you know what? Their team is absolute trash. That's part of it as well.
Absolute trash.
I mean, let's be honest. There's no Cristiano. Like, since he left, they've not bolstered the squad at all. They got Hazard, who's not doing anything anymore.
Yeah. No, they miss Christian Bale, mate.
Christian Bale. You also have, well, you've got some old midfielders, right? You've got Modric, who's been there, I don't know for how long, and you've got Toni Kroos as well.
And Ramos, yeah. No, but, I mean, but you're right. But over the two legs, Chelsea had them well beat.
Yeah,
like it's
Chelsea
going to be a
looked
good
really
final.
good. Yeah, I think it might be quite an entertaining one.
I saw everywhere it was like, well, City are obviously the favourites. I'm like, really? Are they obviously the favourites? I mean, they lost in the
against the team that beat them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's I reckon you could go either way. But
Oh,
they're really solid at the back. Because I remember thinking, like, I was thinking of players to get for this week and stuff. I was like, Lacazette, Aubameyang, blah blah blah. And I looked at it, I was like, okay, West Brom first game, fine. But in the second game, Chelsea, like they mugged off Real quite convincingly. Like, there's no way Arsenal are breaking them down.
Do you know what's difficult though? Is that in the final, who do you want to win less? Because everyone hates Chelsea because they're kind of like the worst. But on the other hand, City are also the worst because they both basically just bought themselves to the final. So who do you want to win? You know,
I hate
the
hatred. The hatred of Chelsea has like simmered down over the years. I've kind of come to accept their.
Well, Frank kind of got everyone liking them again, but then they got rid of Frank.
Yeah.
So, don't know.
But I think City. I'm a United supporter, so I'm always going to hate City more, to be honest.
And also, Chelsea haven't really won much in the last few years. So they're kind of like the smugness has gone away, whereas City are like, yeah, we're going for the quadruple. Yeah, piss off.
The formidables, get out. Community Shield, get out.
Shut up.
Anyway, back to the lineup.
It was on the bus, remember?
Yeah, it was on the bus on their tracksuits.
And then our backup goalkeeper is Guaita, who are playing Crystal Palace, obviously goalkeeper, who are playing Sheffield United and Southampton.
Do you know what? This could be the shout of the season. Guaita, double game week against like very non-scory teams. Yeah. I mean, Sheffield United and Southampton. Imagine if he came in with like 2 cleanies, a couple of BPs, some saves, 24 points, baby.
From Ward-Prowse.
Yeah. We're looking at 24 points. Done, mate. That is a Woody guarantee.
Well, you're only saying that because you got him in the draft. I mean, let's face it. He's gonna concede.
What? Draft me? What?
I saw that.
Okay.
I'm keeping tabs.
Okay.
So Gaita's our backup goalkeeper. Then we've got 3 at the back. So our formation is 3-4-3. We've got Castagna, which I'm not a massive fan of because I just don't think he's that great anyway.
But also, Eric's not a massive fan either, so I'm surprised you guys went for him. I mean, he's my boy, but I'm not.
Well, I think it's the fixtures that are selling it for us. Especially like United, the Newcastle part, I think is a good one. The Newcastle will be good, but I don't know who else I'd put. That would be my because we've got. Well, let's continue going, and then I guess we can analyze it a little bit.
And Woody, to answer your question, you said United. Well, I think the conundrum with United is this: so, do you get United players because they got triple, or are United going to basically struggle to win games because they're going to be fatigued? You know, they're playing 2 games in 48 hours. So, I mean, I think with the Castan thing, we're kind of hoping to get a cleanie against United. I don't know. I mean, I
think as well because Leicester's the last game. No, Liverpool's the last game.
Liverpool's the last. So, yeah. It's going to be a difficult game week for United. Poor guys. I feel sorry for them. Anyway, so Castagna, Newcastle, and United. Then we've got TAA. He's back, baby. We've got Alexander-Arnold, who are playing Southampton and then United. So that could be a good one. I can see quite a couple of assists there. And then we've got Digne, West Ham away and Aston Villa away. So those are kind of the strong, the most expensive kind of defenders that I feel would maybe bring in some points, right?
And what about my boy Tierney?
Yeah, he's available in the draft. But anyway, I saw a funny meme with Digne, and it was like the Digne Wheel of Fortune. And it had 12 points on one of the bits. It had -2 and a red card in one of them, or it had 1 with the yellow card in the other. It's like, which one's going to show up? It's so true. Like West Ham United away and Villa away, he could rock up with 20 points, or he could rock up with 2 over 2 game weeks. It's the
annoying thing with again, we're going back to my philosophy for this whole season. He's the kind of person you need to keep for the whole season, and you ride out the dips to get the highs. But classic me. I got rid of him like 3 weeks ago. Had him all season. Get rid of him 3 weeks ago, and then he starts hauling. It's just
Well, this
been
is
the
the thing,
tale of
buddy.
my
You,
season.
you are the reverse jinx of me because I get players and they become
Yeah,
bad, and
Yeah.
you
I
lose
sell 'em
players
and
and they
they
become
become good.
good.
yeah. So there we go.
We need
We
to
need to
join
watch
forces.
each other.
Yeah.
I'll just keep giving you my players, and then
It's genius.
Well, I mean, just highlighting West Ham, because they did a sneaky, didn't they? Really, West Ham with Antonio. Oh no, he's injured. No, he's injured. Pops up, scores 2 goals last game week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something interesting about that as well is that it seems like Lingard is less of the focal attacking point with Antonio back, right?
Yeah. So that, I mean, I'm considering. I've got the lineup that I think we have. I've got Iheanacho, Watkins, and Calvert-Lewin in my personal team. But I'm seriously considering getting Antonio for the remaining games after this game week.
if he stays fit, then they've got good fixtures.
I mean, he looked. I mean, did you watch the highlights or did you watch the game or not? The West Ham. He was just like that, just gonna walk into the box, head a goal.
Should have had a hat trick easily.
Has he been hitting the gym in his time off? That's what I want to know.
Probably 100%.
Did anyone notice how ripped Aguero was?
Yeah.
No, but I heard you guys going on about it.
Yeah, no.
He came onto the pitch. He came onto the pitch. Came onto the pitch, and the person who sat next to me said, "Has that guy been working out or what?" Okay, so
where were you sat, Eric? Where was this?
I was at home
in a pub.
So anyway, my point is, I get the impression Aguero has gone right. I'm out in a month anyway. I'm going to get ripped this time, baby. So anyway, Alex, do you want to talk us through our heavy bench with the last two defenders?
Yes. So actually, I hadn't realized we'd done this, but we have 2 Crystal Palace defenders. We've got 1 Ward and then Mitchell. Now, I've had Mitchell for a few game weeks now in my personal team, and he only plays 1, but he doesn't play that badly, actually. I do like watching him play. Yeah, exactly.
No,
so he's only played 190.
Good. But
so
the thing
I've done an interesting analysis of his last 10 game weeks. So there's a lot of zeros and 1 point. So
right. Only thing I'll say about that is I like it, and here's I'll tell you for why. Because they've got good fixtures. He's a good player, as Alex said, and apparently Van Aanholt is off on a free in the summer, so Hodgson is not going to keep playing him, obviously, if he's not sticking around.
True.
In that note, I also have the same theory about Willian Jose at Wolves, which is why Fabio Silva played the whole 90, because Jose's on loan from Sociedad, so he's obviously going to go at the end of the season, and now Wolves are like, well, we're safe, not getting you get Europe, so let's just give the young lad a run out. So
yeah, true.
Things like that will start happening. Players leaving or players on loan, they're going to be played less and less. I have a similar feeling about Pereira at Leicester as well, because he's just not been featuring weirdly since he came back from injury. So I wonder if he's put in a transfer request.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Do you guys think it's too early for Aguero to be going? I mean, his goal.
That's what I heard.
His goal was like classic Aguero. I loved it.
You like Aguero all of a sudden. Don't even, all right? That ship sailed, man.
Oh, no, for FPL, we're definitely not considering him. I've always liked his technique. I mean, he's always been sending shivers down my spine. It's probably a little bit too strong.
Don't even.
When he used to play against United. But now I'm not too worried about him, really, because they've got Jesus, and I'm really not worried about him.
Yeah, nothing to worry about there. Right, I'll take the mids. What if that's all right?
Well, please, yeah.
Okay, right. So spoiler alert, it's going to be a heavy United mid. Okay, and yes, it has to do with the triple game week. I have a feeling that it's going to be extremely disappointing. But anyway, starting us off. We've got Fernandez, who's a must, right? I mean, you just have to have him done.
And I think he's going to be everyone's captain this week, surely. I mean, even if he doesn't start one game,
he will. I mean, have you met Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? He
no,
always plays
my prediction would be maybe he doesn't start against Villa, but they'll be drawing or losing, and he'll come on in 60 minutes, play the rest of the game, and then he'll start the other two.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, this would be the time to play a triple captain if you had it. Triple. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, imagine that. 9 games, 9 points to score.
I mean, anyway, that is just so. Then for the other obvious choice is Salah, because he's been relatively in form. And I do think Liverpool, I mean, they've got 4 game weeks left, right? 5, sorry. And they're playing every game week, and they've got a double this week. And their fixtures are generally quite good. So Salah seems to be one for the rest of the season. Unless the media and the rumors are true where he's out, mate. He's off next summer or this summer, sorry. So who knows? But anyway,
Wow,
Salah's
he could be the Van Aanholt of the Liverpool team.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think he's. But anyway, I've got another point about Liverpool after. I'll make it after. So we've got Fernandes, Salah. Then we have Rashford and Greenwood. So the issue with these two. Start off with the issue is that they might not play every game or every minute of every game, but if they do, there's probably a high chance that they can capitalize on 3 games, especially Greenwood, who seems to have been in
no, definitely
form.
with Martial and James out. I think there's going to be rotation, but those two I think will definitely feature. I think those two and Cavani will play a bit of a merry-go-round.
Yeah,
but
I think so,
Greenwood is the youngest and the least injured. Cavani's obviously old and he's got plasters and bandages all over him. Like, it looks like he's just been.
It's for his mate in jail, though, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah,
he's not Nelly.
Oh, he is.
Anyway, and Rashford's obviously got a knock, so I think Greenwood will see the most MOTP out of the 3 of them. But
yeah,
he's
but it's just
threat.
I don't know if you guys agree with this, but I'm not feeling 100% about it. Like sometimes you get a player and you go, "This is going to be good," or whatever. I'm not feeling 100% about it, and I'll tell you for why. Because I like the look of Jota. Jota has a double as well, and honestly, he could show up. I know he's not been informed, but he could show up. And Woody, I know you've gone in the draft. Don't tell me you don't, because I know you do, and I know you're a big fan.
But all right, in that same vein, are we not completely glossing over Mane?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think
I've got Mane in my team, in my personal team. I'm going for Mane over Salah.
I mean, I think he's a good differential because I think everybody will go for Salah. And I know Salah's on penos, but he doesn't really show up against the big teams, whereas Mane will, and Mane runs, and he's going to be running against a tired United. Yeah. So, I mean, he could be one of those ones where he rocks up with a couple of braces.
Yeah.
But at 11.7, he's going to be hard to get for a lot of people, and including for us. We're going to have to massively downgrade. So,
I mean, if you instead of Salah is my point.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I'm just throwing it out there. And the other one I think we need to mention before we just finish the bench, Zaha. We had a bit of a discussion about Zaha before, because I think if he was 100% fit, and we knew he was 100% fit with those 2 fixtures, I think he would be a no-brainer. And I know his price went up yesterday, and I know he's one of the most transferred in. But there's just a bit of a lack of information about the status of his groin, which I've never wanted to know more about someone's groin than Zaha's right now.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I think that's basically it. Is rotation, and I mean, realistically, Zaha's not been in the form of his life lately. So let's assume he plays one of the games and doesn't score. There's a risk associated with it, but it doesn't mean it's a bad choice. So that's why we didn't pick him. And then let's not forget our 5th midfielder, who unfortunately finds himself in the 3rd bench position. But anyway, it's good old Oliver Burke. Let's not forget him. Yeah, he gets a good 15 to 25 minutes every game.
Is he still 4.1?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And he rocks up with a stable 1 point a game, occasionally 2. There's nothing wrong with that.
Good deal. Great deal.
Yeah, for a 3rd bench position, nothing wrong with that. So there you go. That's the mids.
Burke, the enabler. That's what we call him.
Exactly.
He enables the rest of your team.
Yeah. Woody's boy for sure.
Oh, for sure. Even though I've never actually had him in my team, I just keep mentioning him. Honorable mention, Burke. But anyway, all right, I'll round off with the forwards. And again, it's kind of, it's not as obvious this week because there's so many options to choose from. Obviously, they've all got the double game weeks, but with something to bear in mind, of course, is the blank next week, just if you're making these transfers. So we've gone for DCL, Watkins, and Iheanacho. So I mean, DCL, he's back. He scored a goal in the last game, was the game before, but he's looking fit, and West Ham and Aston Villa, the Aston Villa take 2. Watkins again, he scored against Everton, and he plays 90 minutes every game. He's probably the player in the best condition in the Premier League. I can't bring up his stats. Has he missed a minute this season since he actually started?
Let me see. Are we talking about Watkins, right?
Watkins, yeah. Thanks for listening.
No, I think I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, he's played every single minute.
But you know what? That's not something to brag about, because you know what that means? That means disaster is ahead.
That means he'll play 90 minutes in these next 2 games. I'm just saying, like I think he's the most minuted MOTP, highest MOTP of anybody this season, I reckon. Oli Watkins.
Ooh. I'm gonna check that. You keep talking. I'll do some.
I mean, he's played 90. He's played every minute of every game, so he can only be joint top. You can't. There's no one
because they have a game in hand.
Oh my God, you've got me there. You're absolutely right. All right, minutes on the pitch per game can't be higher. It's 100%.
I don't think
minutes played. Yeah.
And then we've got Iheanacho just rounding it out. Like, he's in form. He's got Newcastle and then a tired Man United.
Could you have been more wrong? He's like 10th on the list. Oh mate, I'm actually embarrassed for you at this point.
But that's only because he's played that one less game, you muppet.
Do you know what's interesting though? All the goalkeepers, Schmeichel, Ramsdale, and all that, they all have 60 minutes, 3,060, and that tells me they don't count extra time.
No, they don't, because how can they? Well, surely you saw that when you saw the list of Oli Watkins, how he played exactly 90. Didn't bring him off on the 90th minute every game, did he?
There's some understated heroes here, Souček and Højbjerg. Anyway, sorry, let's go back to it.
There's certain players just play every minute. So that's it. That's the team. Captains. I think it's pretty obvious this week, isn't it?
Yeah, Fernandes.
I mean, it's got to be United player really, and he's the one that's going to play the most minutes.
Well, this is the thing, is that I was considering getting Rashford instead of Fernandes, again trying to be differential, but I'm just not. I'm pretty sure, because I do think that Rashford still has a little bit of a niggle of an injury. I don't think he'll play 90 in all 3. Fernandes is the only one that I can perceive playing 90 out of all 3 games, if that, which I don't think he'll be able to. But I've got a question for you guys, because this is what I've done in my personal team. I've got Henderson in.
Ooh, bold.
I mean, wait, we're talking about goalkeeper Henderson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it because of the rotation thing. That's it. I like him as a goalkeeper. I don't like him if he doesn't play, obviously. And I do think there's the risk, right? I mean, De Gea played last night and played well. So I mean,
and you think there's going to be any cleanies in those 3 fixtures as well?
Well, they're going to be saves. There are definitely going to be saves.
But put it this way, Alex. What about if he plays only 1 game and doesn't get a cleaning? Now you're looking at 1 point instead of, any of the guys that are.
Yeah, but you can say hypothetically. You can say that hypothetically about all of them, really. Imagine Fernandes.
Martinez will play 2, for example. There's some goalkeepers. Schmeichel will play 2. There's some goalkeepers that will. Yeah, they will
Ramsdale.
Definitely play 2. Yeah.
So you're thinking it's best not to have a triple.
I'm just saying. You asked the opinion about Hendo, and I think there's risk of rotation. I don't like that.
I think that's a waste of a Man United player, personally. I would go for the forward.
Or Shaw,
Wan-Bissaka, or the forwards. You tell you what, who is overlooked and will be overlooked in this whole decision-making process is Pogba.
Yeah,
and he'll play.
He is.
He'll definitely play, and he'll definitely get something over the 3 games.
Because Pogba is kind of the one that plays 60 in all games, kind of thing. So he definitely will. He will most likely play in all games, but just not long enough.
Yeah.
So
I can't really decide between Pogba or Greenwood.
It's a good.
That's interesting. Yeah, that is interesting. Are we going to do it?
Pigeons.
Are we going to do it? That's
I just figure Greenwood's the obvious answer, and I just like, for those of us that are chasing down the mini leagues and we need to start getting differentially, he's one that sprung to mind, because I think most people will just think, now I'm going to get Greenwood, Rashford, Shaw, Fernandes. That's they're going to be the United assets, but I think Pogba could just pop up with a couple.
I mean, he does show up with assists and all that, but we're not talking hauls here. He's not been hauling.
But if he just gets something in each game, all of a sudden he's on 18 points. I'm just saying.
Okay,
Just
in my mind, if we discount the Fernandez because everyone has him, in my mind, Cavani or Greenwood are the ones to haul. I think if anyone's gonna,
You reckon?
yeah, I
I
think
can't see
either of
Cavani
those two.
playing that much. I think, honestly.
No, that's possible. I'm not denying that, but I'm saying, statistically speaking, it'll be Greenwood or Cavani. I think after Fernandez. But if you want to play it safe with United, go Shaw or Wan-Bissaka. Nothing wrong with that.
Both get rested. I don't know.
They'll both get, because he brought Brendan Williams on and Telles on as well last night, who I think they're the backup ones, and
let's face it,
one of them.
They're all going to get a bit rested, aren't they? Everybody's going to get a bit rested in the Man United team. I just think Cavani, with his age, will be the most rested.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we've got a decent team. We never talked about the Vicey. Not that it's that important this week, but just to give a different opinion, who are we going to vice? If you didn't have Fernandez or you weren't going to captain him,
if you want to go for a differential, I'd go Iheanacho.
See, I go Salah.
No. I'm with Woody on this.
We're going Iheanacho? Okay. All right. It is Iheanacho. Yeah. And to your guys' point, the last thing I want to mention was that there might be some people who take this opportunity to go ultra differential to sort of rocket themselves up the league. You know, if you're kind of in a position where you can't win or you don't think you can win with a template team, this might be the time to go a little bit off-piste.
Off-piste, you know? Definitely, yeah. Get El Ghazi, you know.
Ooh, yeah.
Ward-Prowse. Although, to be fair, Ward-Prowse isn't that off-piste. I mean, I know a lot of people have got him.
Well, he isn't. I mean, he's transferred in this week, but I do think a lot of people don't have him, and therefore definitely could be worth getting. And good fixtures coming up, and it's all the players that are going going in the next game week as well. So
guys like Zaha, Ward-Prowse, like
Villa,
the long game.
Yeah. Because a lot of people might be disappointed with blanks next week, or might not account for it as much. So something to think about. But otherwise, that is it. So thanks for joining, as always, and very best luck for a triple game week. It should be exciting, or maybe it's going to be terrible. Maybe it'll be disappointing. You know, no one knows. But either way, let's hope for 100 points. Are we going to go for it? Are we going for the 100 this week?
I think so. Yeah,
it should be. It's a triple game week. Yeah.
Got to be 100 points.
I'd say 150 even, mate.
No, see, now he's ruined it.
In that case, we better do a different captain because not going to get 150.
Yeah. All right. Okay. We'll see you guys next week then. Thanks for joining.
Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.